Hello, this is the Cassette Master, appearing again with Loud Hum Productions. Here on Loud Hum Productions, we will be presenting to you a very special Italian-made reel-to-reel tape recorder by a company called Geloso. This recorder came out in the year 1959. I hope you'll enjoy this Loud Hum production. Shot on Saturday, the 16th of June of the year 2017. And by that I mean 2018. Believe me, there's a big difference. If it hasn't already been made astoundingly clear, Loud Hum Productions is also in a conglomeration with Dark Productions. These two production companies work long and hard to bring you the best they can in video production quality. So we open up this special box. Notice the handle's completely missing. We open up this special box and we present to you for your viewing pleasure a sideways reel-to-reel tape recorder. Now inside you can see some paperwork such as in a dictating machine. It's a basic deal about features. This has different accessories you could get. In a dictating machine, fidelity makes the difference. In the office, executive relaxed dictation design. No hand mic to clamp your dictating, no hand mic to cramp your dictating style. Oh my gosh. Makes the new Geloso StenOtape machine easiest of any to dictate into. Records every word you utter up to 30 feet away. Blah, 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 blah. And then there's this stuff here. Now notice the dark shadow, because this is a dark production. And here at Dark Productions, we need to make sure there's a maximum amount of shadows and dark things that make the production quality suffer. Or, well, triumph in the way of Dark Productions, because Dark Productions is known for making videos that are of very low quality. But this is an interesting thing here. Inter-office memorandum. Geloso, September 9th, 1959. So, at some point, the volume control shaft had broken. And instructions had to be written on how to go inside the machine and replace the broken volume control shaft. Thank goodness my machine's volume control shaft is not broken, because it is indeed plastic, and we all know what that means. Another thing I want to show is this right here. Now, received January 25th, 1960, Dipple Business Equipment Company. And quite something. As per our conversation on the 19th, I am sending you the following quotations on dictating machines. The machine will have equipment for both dictating and transcribing, and also carrying case, a telephone adapter, and 6 extra reels of tape. The prices include all taxes. This unit cost $262.86 back in 1960 money. So that's quite something. Two other machines are mentioned, which are Grundig recorders, these de jure machines. I don't have any of those Grundig de jure machines in my collection, but they're mentioned as the other models that were available at the time for dictation. The Geloso being the cheapest amongst them. But wait, there's more. The facts about dictating machines, and there's a lot of various things. You know, you got this long strew of just filing cabinets. This is a $4,700 a year, equal to $100,000 in gross product sales. Anyway, stuff like that. You know, it's all about businesses dictating jobs and secretaries. It's all about that kind of thing. And now you may have heard that it was Saturday, the 16th of June 2018. I shouldn't say 17. There's such a marketable difference between the 2 years that it's details I'm not going to get into, but there's a big marketable difference between those 2 years. Well, at least June of that year and June of this year. But anyway, let's go back down to show the machine. So, and of course, you can't see a thing. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, you have a nice light and a workbench, you have all that mumbo jumbo, and you choose to make a darkly lit crap-tacular video. That's right. You know, up in this area here, I haven't made a video up in this area for YouTube yet. And I thought it would be interesting to make a video in this loft area of the apartment and give it a different feel. And I thought to add to the feel, I would turn off the overhead light and use my tinsel lamp instead. So that's why I have it like this. Now, amongst the things that are with the recorder are some boxes of reels. One of them was empty, the other one may have had a take-up reel or something, but there's another reel here actually. It may have been from another bigger reel at some point because it's kind of coming off the edge. But I was very pleased that A, one of the reels was blank so I can make recordings on it, and B, it has 0.5 mil thickness tape. I wish I had more reels that were 0.5 mil thickness, because of course they have the longest recording time for a 3 or 3.5 inch reel. This is the original microphone that went with the Geloso recorder. Camera's about to have a fit. Unfortunately, the original microphone element is open circuit, so I can't use that mic. Now, I can't just go in and get a regular old microphone and plug it in. I wish I could say I could, but I can't. So let's move this box out of the way and I'll show you why I can't just get a regular mic and plug it in. Here's the recorder overly zoomed in, adding to the absolute crappiness of the production quality of this video. But this is only for, anyway. So the thing is if you look at this jack, you might think it looks like a pretty standard jack. But in reality, this jack is wider than a regular 3.5 millimeter, but narrower than a 1/4 inch. It's a strange jack, and it's not the same size as the military PL68 either, although it's pretty close. It's a strange size jack. I'm guessing it was an Italian standard. Now I know you can't see the top of the machine. It's as dark as insert proper, you know, joke here. I can't even think of the freaking word for it. That's that bad. But yeah, I think you know what sort of humor I would go for. Yet since I can't think of a good analogy to make, the humor utterly fails. So anyway, this is a all vacuum tube recorder. Now yes, I did say A before a word that started with a vowel. And this uses no transistors. And another thing about this is, although it looks like a little portable, and it is what I'd call semi-portable, it does not use batteries. It only uses the AC line. So the downside there is you can't easily use it in a regular portable way. You'd have to use an external inverter and battery, which I'm thinking of building one or getting one to use with this machine in a more portable way. It went into hum mode because the record play switch contacts are sometimes not making good contact. And there goes the take-up reel.
Two elbow fake farts recorded. Elbow fake farts recorded on the 8th of June of the year 2018 AD.
What do you call a seagull that flies over a bay?
A bagel.
Yeah!
That was a good recording made with a man named Isaac Jim, who was born as recently as 2005. For people born in that year, to them it's an entire lifetime ago, and they won't have the same perception that someone born earlier would have of the year 2005. Age is a very interesting thing and very relative in its experience and perspective. Now that we have somewhat better lighting on this Geloso, oh, that's horrid. Is that better? Gee, bloody whiz. I know, I should have shot this on the workbench, and I might even redo this video or make a redo section or something. But I just thought I would make a video up in this loft area because, kind of give things a different feel. So this unit has a seeing eye tube. The DM71, I think, is a part number for the record level. So I pause, which moves the pinch roller, go into record mode. Notice the exclamation point is illuminated. Now the thing about this is you've probably seen recorders before that's had this kind of level indicator, and you're used to, when you set the level, the line go to the point the more that the stronger the audio signal is. But on this unit it's inverted. The more you speak, the farther back or dimmer, this is inverted than from what you normally get. Let's turn the lamp off. I mean off, not brighter, idiot. You should really be able to see that exclamation now. And you can see that the line gets shorter as I speak. Now this is a manual level control. Turn the level all the way up and I talk loud enough, it goes completely out. Talk at arm's length distance. You can set the mid position on the level and we'll make a recording. We'll go in motion on the tape. Here I am making a recording. Oh crap! I heard a sound. I didn't like the sound. It was a sound of tape doing something it shouldn't do, but it looks like all is well. Okay, so this recorder. Now one thing to notice about this mic is it is crystal. This mic did come with this recorder as well. It looks like one of those crystal microphones that commonly comes with those rim drive reel-to-reel tape recorders. Except this one seems to have a somewhat better quality construction with this little clip to clip onto your shirt. This microphone is manufactured by Colrad and in Japan, but of course the recorder is Italian made. So we'll go ahead and rewind and play back. That's not the only time I've made that mistake.
Breaking a recording. Oh crap! I heard a sound. I didn't like the sound. It was a sound of tape doing something it shouldn't do, but it looks like all is well. Okay, so this recorder I acquired on the electronic bay, and unfortunately it wasn't packed all that well. The microphone, the original microphone that came with it, the one that was open circuit, of course, had a crack in the case, which I think had to do with not being packed so well. The recorder had greatly shifted within its original case, moved the separating shim over and kind of crumpled or banged against the microphone. Thankfully, the recorder itself did not suffer any cracks, because that would have really set me off. The microphone being cracked is a disappointment, but if you really want to set me off and take me for a spin, crack a recorder. That's not going to sit well with me. I don't like it when my tape recorders get cosmetically damaged, or damaged in any way for that matter. So, especially if it's something that could have been prevented, or something that I did after acquiring a machine. I regret things like that to the extreme. Let's put the cover back on carefully, so as not to crack the clear plastic. Very carefully. So yeah, I mentioned the date, and then I completely changed the subject. It's Saturday, but it's Friday night, if you catch my drift. It's 12:50 a.m. on the 16th. So I'm still experienced, which basically the 17th. Now, one thing to notice about this mic is it is crystal. This mic did come with this recorder as well. It looks like one of those crystal microphones that commonly comes with those rim drive reel-to-reel tape recorders. But this one seems to have a somewhat better quality construction with this little clip to clip onto your shirt. This microphone is manufactured by Colrad and in Japan, but of course the recorder is Italian made. This is my first Italian recorder to acquire. I've seen, of course, other machines online that are Italian, but this is my first ownership of an Italian made recorder. And it's pretty nice. AC bias. And this only has a single speed of 1 7/8 inches per second. Also take note that this entire recording is saturated. I don't know how accurate.
Maybe it's not. This recording sounds a little better. I made some other recordings on here in the past that were considerably more saturated sounding.
This meter is, but judging by the distortion, it must be saturated.
Okay. Pretty nice indeed. Let's do some more happy rewinding. And as I rewind, I'll show also a telephone pickup coil. Notice it actually has 2 suction cups. Boom. And then also, shout out to this guy Fritz, also an earphone, actually shaped like to go on an ear. I had recorded some music on this machine. The way I recorded the music was by putting the telephone pickup coil up to a speaker. Since I have, well, still yet to make a patch cord, which I plan to use the removable and resolderable jack of the original mic. But I'm lazy as crap, so what do you expect?
Of course.
Combine that with my horrible video and you'll just see it.
That's to get the 120 volts AC to run this device. Because of course this machine is a vacuum tube recorder and not meant to run on battery power. Probably also uses an AC motor.
Recording on the Geloso machine at a speed that it shouldn't be running at, unless the machine has decided to run at the proper speed. I have Ryan Shu with me. I want him to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Ryan Shu. I am not a doctor. Thank you very much.
What is your opinion on this reel-to-reel tape recorder?
Currently, I want to see its full functionality, then I'll give you my full review. Thank you very much.
Okay, at least what is your opinion on its general appearance and style?
It is actually pretty Italian, so I will say very high class and very nice.
And what do you think of this crystal microphone?
I'd rather see the original, but this is still very good. I appreciate the thought of it, and it's good.
Now take notice of this. Notice when I speak.
Yes.
Watch.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that neat?
That is neat. Interesting.
It uses the same technology as a cathode ray tube.
Excuse me for a second, but there we go. Safety. It's always good to be safe. Therefore, safety must be maintained at all times. I hope you enjoyed this horridly done video with crappy camera handling, crappy editing, crap-tastic lighting, and crappy presentation in general. Another thing I didn't mention yet is that the design on here is not so good in that when it's left in the pause, or in the non-pause, in the play position, and this isn't the actual play position but the run position, if you let that button up just slightly like that and all four buttons are up all the way and it's in this position, the pinch roller is touching the capstan. To move the pinch roller from the capstan, you push stop down all the way, and it moves the pinch roller ever so slightly away from the capstan. If you really want to remove the pinch roller from the capstan, move that over. Then, even when all the buttons are up, the pinch roller is still held away when it's in this position. That's a bad design because it's too easy for the pinch roller to stay on the capstan by accident. And the very culprit of that bad design is evident in this recorder in the fact that the pinch roller does have a notch. It does run surprisingly well on this tape considering the fact that it has a notch, although it is picky on which tapes it will work with. When I first got this, I tried it with an existing tape I had to use for some testing. I think that tape had 1 mil thickness, and the recorder the tape would run through one revolution of the pinch roller, then stop. I had to give it a little push, and then it would run through another revolution, then stop, and or I could just keep on giving more torque on the take-up reel to keep it running. But thankfully, with this 0.5 mil tape, it seems to be running the tape surprisingly well, considering that there is a notch. And the music, of course, it sounded like it was overdriven a bit, although it didn't look quite overdriven on the meter. But then again, I'm not sure how accurate that meter is. Anyway, interesting to note was the on and off says C and no. For yes, no, yes meaning on, no meaning off. And on the side, rewind is ritorno. Of course, you know, I have a horrid accent. Play is ascolto, and stop is fermo, and then record is registrar, although shortened. I think it's for registrar. So basically, it's like register is what they say for record. So if you want to do a direct translation, it's basically saying instead of on and off, it's yes and no. And instead of record, it's register. And I just find it very interesting. It may also be saying stop is firm. See, that gets into an interesting thing with the idea of translations. And when people translate things, generally, you're going to have a translation of what is meant, but not a direct translation of what is said. What would really be more interesting would be to have a direct word for word, unfiltered translation. So what is said is what is actually translated. A translator might take the C and no on the on-off switch, and they translate it to someone and they say on and off. How about you say yes and no? That would make things more interesting. Stop? No. Firm. Assuming that's what it means. I don't know Italian. And then instead of record, register. That makes things all the more interesting. You know. So anyway, it is just like I learned, I don't know, I took a little bit of Spanish in high school, and you have certain kinds of sayings in other languages that you would say a little bit different in another language. And I learned in high school Spanish that I'm sorry was lo siento, but I learned later on from my cousin that was a more strong kind of a sorry. I don't know what the more regular sorry was, but the direct translation. Well, hello again, viewers and viewfinders. It is still the 16th, but now it's the actual daytime. Currently 12:38 p.m. And I was editing the last video. Well, doing some slight editing more precisely. And last part of the last segment cut off, but it wasn't really much after that anyway. But the music recording quality presented on there was very bad because with the telephone pickup coil, for some reason the way it was with putting up the speaker, the treble frequencies were way too overemphasized, I think. I think that's why it sounded so distorted. Well, I finally made an adapter. This is the old microphone jack. And I just desoldered the old wires. The original microphone is still intact. I'll show it with better lighting too. And here's the wires. And there's unfortunately the crack that it suffered during shipping because it wasn't packed so well. And anyway, and then this is just a little 1/4 inch jack here. And I would have preferred to use a 3.5 millimeter, but the resources I have on hand as far as spare jacks are concerned are a little limited right now. So anyway, With that, I was able to make not only recordings with other microphones, such as a Sony F96 Dynamic, but also direct recordings of music. And the quality is a lot better, although a little somewhat muffled on treble frequencies because of the slow speed of 1/7/8 inches per second. Here's a Geloso recorder, seen a lot better, first with natural sunlight illuminating the machine, turn the unit on, but then also we can turn on the overhead fluorescent light and get even more lighting on the Geloso recorder. So this is a much better lighting than the video I did quote unquote last night, which was technically midnight and technically this morning. So if any of you have even gotten this far in the video, maybe you'll be pleased to finally see that some better lighting is used to show this machine. So now we can, I recorded some music on this. I had hum galore whenever I was using an attenuator, so I actually hooked a direct line level feed and turned the level way down. Love that music. Don't even get me started. Okay, so I'll also show recording with a dynamic mic. This is the high impedance version of the Sony F96, roughly 500 ohms impedance versus the roughly 200 ohms impedance of the other F96s. Hello, hello, I am setting my level. Hello, hello, hello. Oh no! I get nothing! Nothing! Fail! That didn't last long. Jack is crap! Alright, this plastic jack is a piece of crap. There it goes. Okay, I tried a different adapter. That's all it was. Okay, I'm now making a recording on the Geloso recorder using a Sony F96. You should have a better display of the exclamation point looking level meter, because in the past video I was not having the camera looking quite directly down at it. Oh man, I don't like it when it gets blurry. I don't like blurriness. Blurry sucks. Blurry is annoying. I want it in focus. So now we have an in focus view of the level meter. And now we'll be able to play back the recording. You'll be able to hear how this Geloso recording sounds. Playback time. Okay, I'm now making a recording on the Geloso recorder using a Sony F96 dynamic mic. The earlier recordings you have heard on this recorder were made using a crystal microphone. Let's see how this recording comes out. Oh yes. And anyway, well, gee, bloomin' whiz, okay. You should have a better display of the exclamation point looking level meter, because in the past video I was not having the camera looking quite directly down at it. Oh man, I don't like it when it gets blurry.
I don't like blurriness. Blurry sucks. Blurry is annoying. I want it in focus. So now we have an in focus the level meter. And now we'll be able to play back the recording. You'll be able to hear how this Geloso recording sounds.
Notice the glint of the vacuum tube glow in that window. Anyway, much better lighting, much better quality demonstration right here, shown in just a few minutes, versus the lengthy descriptive video I made earlier, which is all to show something in absolute horrid lighting and horrid quality. Showmanship! Stupid tripod! Okay. And then, I hate this freaking tripod. It freaking sucks. It really does. So, anyway, this tripod really is my arch nemesis. But, and it's broke twice, too. I had to glue the thing that holds the camera on back onto the tripod. It's broke many years ago, and actually it was my parents' tripod. Tripod, I think, is from the 1960s, and my dad glued it with J.B. Weld years ago, back when he was alive, my biological father. And anyway, then finally, after moving to Massachusetts, I go into this apartment, and one day the tripod falls over. Here come, and the little thing breaks off again. Oh my gosh! So I had to get some epoxy glue and glue it back, and finally it's holding on again. But the thing is a little swivel thing or whatever they are on the bottom loves to just, they don't screw good. They don't hold on. So sometimes they just kind of go back within themselves, and the tripod kind of just goes, sags. So yeah, it's an annoying tripod. But hey, it's better than no tripod. Okay, so this is the original crystal microphone case, mangled during shipping, and here's the characteristics for the crystal mic. Look at that really terrible frequency response. Okay, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video of this Geloso recorder. Oh, I cannot resist the urge. There is a particular urge I can't resist. And that is an urge that is related to the telephone pickup coil. The urge originally had to do with the carbon microphone with the telephone communication device. But when I went to the closet to get it, I was reminded whenever I saw the sound-powered telephones. So I thought instead, I'll do the experiment with sound-powered telephones. So I plug the telephone pickup coil into the Geloso. Tubes are warming up. I get two sound-powered telephones and hook them together, and of course I'll do an acoustical or an audio test of the sound-powered telephones. So, hello? 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 Okay, we're in business. I put the machine into record mode with it paused, turn the level all the way up, pick up coil, and put it up to the earpiece of one. Speak into the other. Hello, hello. I see absolutely no deflection. It does pick up hum. If I put it near the recorder, I can see the level meter respond. Hello, 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 hello. Nothing, huh? Let's try it on this side. Wow. Hello, hello, hello. Let's try it on the same side. Hello, hello. It's just too weak. It's too weak. It's too weak. But we'll try anyway. Hello, hello, hello. This is a test with a sound-powered telephone and a carbon mic. You probably will not hear a single thing in this recording. Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see if it works.
Hello, hello, hello. This is a test with a sound-powered telephone and a carbon mic. You probably will not hear a single thing in this recording. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I mistakenly said carbon mic there. It's not a carbon microphone. It's a balanced armature type transducer, which could be used as a mic or as an earphone. I hope you enjoyed this video and this little portion at the end, which is a better demonstration. I'll probably put in the description of this video the time, the timestamp as to when the better lit portion of the video begins, so those viewing that read the description could say, well, I don't like this dark productions crap, I want to see a better quality video. And then they can look in the description and see better quality portion at whatever the time is. Okay, click on that. Okay, actually I can see the thing, for Pete's sake, and watch it that way. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a jolly good one.